But that's what's on my mind today.
Oh, well, I mean, I think it's on the mind of just about, how many million eyeballs were put on that TV screen yesterday. And I mean, that's the talk of the town. When you have the biggest game, that's what we're going to fixate on a little bit. And obviously, Super Bowl chatter is where we are at here this morning. But I mean, you go back to the just inside the numbers here on this matchup, and the offensive line. I mean, not only was Pat Mahomes just scrambling around, I mean, literally just running around in the backfield for his life, trying to make plays, forcing things. The interceptions, the turnover prone because of the pressure that he was under. Other than Pat Mahomes, you ran the ball 7 times, 7 carries, whether it was Pacheco or Kareem Hunt. The running game ceased to be because A, you got in an early hole. B, your offensive line couldn't stop a cold with armed with Kleenex and antibiotics. I mean, that was awful.
Yeah, how you expect us to run the damn ball when our offensive line is playing as bad as they were?
Yeah.
Isaiah Pacheco, he ran for 7 yards. 7 yards.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt, he ran for 9 yards. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Those two guys combined for 16 yards in the game yesterday. So anyway, I was looking at our Blazing 5 picks. You went 3-2. I went 2-3. Not only in my first one, but my second one I gave you. So I went 2-3 in both of those. Saquon Barkley, he runs for 57 yards. The Chiefs did a great job on him. He runs for 57 yards in the game.
Yep.
But Pacheco, 7 yards. Oops. Jalen Hurts, he ran actually threw for 221, which is over the number. See, we had DeAndre Hopkins. He went over 11.5 yards, but just barely, 18. Mahomes threw for 257. Jalen Hurts threw for 221. And Kareem Hunt, he rushed for 9 effing yards.
Yeah.
Let's see, you got in on Hunt being under.
Yep.
You also won on Devontae Smith going over his 60 yards. You also won on Xavier Worthy. Yeah, he was the lone bright spot.
The bright spot.
Yeah, the only bright spot for the Chiefs yesterday. He went for 157.
And there were big explosive plays.
Yeah.
I mean, the explosive playmaker that everyone said that Kansas City lacked, Xavier Worthy, showed up in the big game.
But one of them was way at the end of the game when it was
garbage time touchdown. Yeah. Yep.
So, and that was probably his biggest play. But yeah, we were lucky to get out of there at 40-22. That was terrible.
Could Hurts have thrown for 4 more freaking yards? By the way.
Yeah.
221 needed 225 out of him.
A lot of people are probably hoping for that.
Just one more throw.
Let's see. Looking ahead to next year, the Super Bowl odds are already out, like they usually do.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, Baltimore and the Chiefs are the favorites to win the Super Bowl next year. Buffalo and Detroit are a close second.
Shocker. Buffalo
Philadelphia
standing behind Casey.
Yeah, Philadelphia right in there after that. So there you go. Baltimore and Kansas City tied on the board. Buffalo and Detroit shared the 3rd spot, in Philly in there following all those teams. So, and that's no surprising. That's the Super Bowl odds for 2026.
Well, I mean, sure, but unless Kansas City takes the Ferris wheel down and removes all the bubblegum and twisty ties y'all put on it this year with that offensive line and actually gets a little bit of structure and a little bit of base, I don't have Kansas City in that conversation. Not after what I saw last night.
Oh, they're going to make some They're going to make some changes.
Sure they are. But to be fair, they played. That was a 180 from the Kansas City team that I watched against Buffalo. You played a damn good Buffalo team, and you played them really, really well. And
maybe your Buffalo team wasn't as good as you thought they were.
Well, I'll admit play calling was awful in the Buffalo game. I felt like Buffalo played scared. I felt Buffalo played on the back foot. I think Kansas City won the mental game really early, and KC is very good at winning that mental game. They came out and played with a little bit more purpose. I think Kansas City got punched in the mouth and didn't respond. Went to their corner and stumbled and then just kind of laid there on the ropes for a while Philadelphia continued to knock and throw in the knockout punch.
Yeah, we got down early and they kind of took all the luster off of the Super Bowl.
And I think, you go back to it and what you said about stopping Saquon Barkley. And I said that Saquon Barkley was probably going to go go under 100. And I said the game kind of hinged upon what he was going to be able to do. And I felt like Kansas City 2 weeks ago did a good enough job of shutting down Cook and shutting down Allen. And I'm like, that's a pretty damn good run defense. I've seen it in action. I've seen it firsthand. I don't know if Saquon gets his hundy. And he didn't. But then I think Jalen Hurts, all of this talk all week long, Saquon Barkley this, Saquon Barkley that, the big trade that made the Eagles that much better, got him to the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is listening to all this going, I can still throw. I can still play QB. And, in typical Jalen Hurts fashion, on the big stage when everybody else had the eyeballs somewhere else, he showed up and he played a huge game. I mean, Hurts was monster. But KC hurt themselves with the cracks in the offensive line. That thing was tough to watch at times.
And you're not a Kansas City fan. It was tough to watch for Chiefs fans. I mean, really tough.
Yeah.
Like I said, right out of the chute here, we got our asses kicked. No ifs, ands, buts about it. We didn't win any phase of that game. Not even close. Mm-hmm. And that was the most disheartening thing. It's like we didn't even show up. Plus, they only showed Taylor Swift twice.
Yeah.
Donald Trump got 2 views. I think Taylor was only on once.
I'm trying to flash back and remember, but one cutaway shot at one point in time.
Yeah, I think Donald Trump had 2 and Taylor Swift had 1 cutaway shot.
They did show her in the Jumbotron, and most fans started booing.
I don't know.
She didn't know how to respond.
Well, I don't understand that. Why did they do that? Why did they do that?
I'm just reading some of the comments that are slowly coming in here from some of your Chiefs faithful that are also getting up here on this day after, as you call it, to kind of regroup. And
like Ryan Martin's last comment.
Yep, we won the coin toss.
We won the coin toss, which we did. Did you bet that, by the way?
Oh, hell no. No. I was smart. I didn't bet a whole lot of props. I did cash in on Xavier Worthy. And I did cash in on, I bet all those props that I gave you on the Blaze, and I bet them all separate. So I was able to cash in again on 3 of 4 of those. If Jalen Hurts goes 225, I go 4 for 4 on my prop bets. He needed 4 more freaking yards. And if I would have bet with my heart instead of my head, I might have cashed in on all 5. But I got in my own head and thought, well, the Chiefs, man, they're just too dominant. Lou Dog says, and he called, it was early in the season. Early in the season, he called and talked about that offensive line for Kansas City that was an issue. And that Pat Mahomes had to continue to backpedal, and said yesterday that he knew it was going to be trouble. That offensive line was leaky from the word go, and it didn't get any better.
No, it didn't. All season long. Well, we talked about it all season long on this show.
Yeah.
So, Ryan Martin also says it was a boring Super Bowl. I'd have to agree. On that. You were one of the very few people, by the way, who came out on social media during the game and liked the halftime show. One of the very few people.
I'm on the island there, man.
All by yourself.
That's fine.
I think you're the only one that enjoyed the halftime show. I thought it was garbage. Of course, I'm probably not in his demographics to watch it, but everybody that was at the house party that I was at, I don't know if there was one person, maybe one person that got into it. The rest of us, who the hell is this guy?
It was entertaining to watch for me, right? I wasn't watching for my particular musical palette. And I think like that's really important to separate. Like, I'm a rock fan. Modern rock, go back to the 1960s. I love the classic rock. I love the Beatles. I love the Stones. I love the Who. That's the albums that I get vinyls of. Those are the bands that I really, really enjoy. I don't listen for what is my particular musical palette. I'm like watching from the performance aspect. And it wasn't like they spent $1 billion on pyrotechnics, and it was just, I mean, it was choreographed dancing to hip hop and rap that comes straight from Los Angeles and Compton. I mean, and that delivered on what he was intending to do. Nothing flashy, just Kendrick Lamar doing, and he's the top of the world right now in terms of the musical charts, and that's why the Super Bowl was attracted to him. I mean, you get who is topping the Billboard charts and who is on the radio, and you get the popular artist, and so the majority of, I would say, I don't know, let's say 30 unders were probably having the best of time in the Super Bowl, and I felt it was entertaining, and it wasn't trashy.
I had some under 30s in our crowd, and they didn't like it.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's
we did.
It delivered on the fact that it was a performance, and I thought it was a good performance.
We didn't watch a lot of the pregame stuff. We actually got on and watched the pregame tailgate concert.
Okay.
And now I forgot who in the hell the guy was. Jeez, Amber's going to be in the room here soon.
Amber's going to be on the chat.
I forgot, it was a country guy.
Okay.
And it was great. I forgot who it was. I had that right on the tip of my tongue too. Hold on, I'll think of it.
Gosh darn it!
Sometime. Yeah. Anyway, it was the tailgate concert.
Sure.
And it wasn't on the network. You had to get on YouTube or Netflix or something to watch it. We cranked it up. We were like at a concert. That was the greatest thing of the Super Bowl.
Sure, the tailgate show.
The tailgate show.
The tailgate party.
Yeah,
probably was. I mean, once kickoff happened, I think it was kind of downhill from there. But, Ryan Martin saying the choreography was good. Really hard to understand the lyrics, so he wasn't impressed. And I get it. Like, I mean, it's one of those things. It's a palate thing, and especially for like country western fans and rock fans, like you're going to have one particular direction. I try to be one of those that really takes in a lot of different forms of music, a lot of different genres, and tries to find some appreciation in that. And in a sense, the show delivered on what it was intended to do, and I loved it. It was good.
I'd rather have Janet Jackson.
Oh, Post Malone.
Post Malone, that's the guy. That's who it is. Post
country?
Malone. He's kind of country, and he's kind of all over the place.
Oh.
Post Malone is the guy. Yeah, we had the tailgate concert with Post Malone.
He did a Super Bowl halftime show a couple years ago, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. But he did a tailgate kickoff, and that was a toe tapper. I started off. I told Amber that I wouldn't walk across the street to watch the guy. And then as the show got on, I said, all right, I might go see this guy. I'd give maybe $10.
And now you're getting tickets to the next Post Malone show.
No, I got the $25. I said, I might give you $25 for a ticket. By the end of the concert, it was $50 or $100, and she was looking at where he was going to be playing that we were going to go see. He's going to be in Denver, and he's going to be in Minneapolis, and she wanted to know if I wanted to go. And I said I would go. If
it's Red Rocks in Denver, you got to go.
We thought about that, but there's too much marijuana out there. Oh. I'm not going to sit there and inhale marijuana. I might have to take a drug test someday, and I won't pass. And she's in the healthcare business. She was concerned about that because she has to test all the time. She says, I'd never pass my test if we went up to Denver.
Just from contact high. Just from walking down the street.
Yeah. So we might go to Minneapolis. Yeah, Post Malone.
Stadium tour. Okay.
He might be my new guy. He looks like a freak.
He was the one that had like the underwear hats, wasn't he?
Well, he's got tattoos all over. He's like the other guy.
Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll. He's like
who
Jelly
you're thinking
Roll.
of. Yeah.
Anyway, Jelly Roll was about 300 pounds heavier. But this guy is kind of like him. Post Malone.
And he was in the Super Bowl commercial for Anheuser-Busch.
Probably so.
I believe. Yeah.
That was the best part of the Super Bowl.
The commercials?
No, I haven't even talked about
I was going to say that because the commercials sucked. By the way.
Yeah, I didn't hear anybody talking about the commercials yet. Normally, you wake up and you hear all kinds of stuff on social media. Oh, that commercial was great. I already seen the Budweiser commercial. They pre-released that, and I thought that was kind of neat. But I've already seen that, so it didn't raise any hairs off of my body.
I mean, I'm glad that the Clydesdale tradition can continue. I mean, as a fan of St. Louis sports and St. Louis heritage and the Budweiser Clydesdale being stationed right there in St. Louis, Missouri, I love that tradition continues. That one always hits sentimentally for me. It doesn't encourage me to go get Bud Heavy by any stretch of the imagination, but at the same time, I mean, I love seeing them. But everything else was just bad celebrity cameos and horrible marketing strategy.
And the following morning, other than the Budweiser commercial, can you even remember any of the commercials that were playing yesterday?
There was a UFO Doritos commercial in there.
Now, see, I was at a house party, so you never watch those commercials as intently as maybe you're sitting at home on your own sofa.
We start off by trying. And then progressively, I think by the second quarter, we all kind of just give up.
Yeah,
so you got to get your commercial out of the gate early to be successful in our commercial.
Those are probably the $15 million commercials, the first couple out of the gate.
Bill Belichick with his Duncan cameo.
Bill Belichick's getting to be quite the guy, isn't he?
He's still drier than a stick in the mud, man.
I know he is, but that's never going to change. But he's starting to smile a little bit. He's starting to get some social media presence. He's got a hot-looking girlfriend that people are talking about. Yeah, he's starting to be in the know a little bit more. Now that he's got a head coaching job now, he's down at North Carolina. Now he's getting around a little bit. Bill Belichick.
So apparently, we'll catch up on some comments here before we hit our news break. We've got Amber saying that Post Malone's doing a stadium tour with Jelly Roll. So you get the 2-for-1, the tattoo tour.
You can't beat that.
Can't beat that. Tim Stroman, now baseball taking center stage. Woo-hoo-hoo! I'm with you, Tim. We're looking forward to getting on the diamond. Speaking of the diamond, I'll get to Nebraska softball comments here in a little bit after we hear from Coach Hoiberg. Big weekend for Nebraska softball. Had Texas Tech on the ropes. Couldn't finish them off, so more on that coming up. Watch that game on MLB Network. That was a lot of fun. Lou Dog, going back to the Super Bowl commercials. Yeah, there was the breast cancer one. Where they showed a bunch of cleavage, and you were kind of trying to figure out what in the world you were watching or what was going on. And
how in the hell did I miss that?
Breast cancer awareness.
How did I miss? If there was a bunch of cleavage out there, how did I miss that?
Yep.
I missed that.
I remember that one now, thinking about it. And then the cowboy hat body structure was funny. I don't remember that one. I'll have to look that one up. But the otherwise commercial struggled from Ryan. So Super Bowl commercials, Super Bowl game, Huskers weekend, anything you want to chat about this morning, feel free to give us a call and join us on the show. We'll have a news break coming up here. We'll hear from Fred Hoiberg and so much more to get to here on the day after.
More than 20 million Americans are set to skip work today after watching the Super Bowl. It's going to cost the U.S. economy $3 billion.
I was generally worried about whether or not you would have been among them.
No, I texted you last night that I was.
You were feeling ill.
It might be a solo cameo appearance by you, but I'm the bigger man.
Nope, you did. I had to show up after Buffalo lost.
Yeah,
we got to do it. You got to dust yourself off, look yourself in the mirror, and say, "I might be a loser today, but tomorrow I might be a winner." And so we're gonna strive on.
I did win a quarter. I did win a quarter on our Super Bowl pool yesterday.
Oh, did you get a square?
Yeah, I got a square.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, made like $100 or something.
Woohoo!
An estimated 22.6 million workers set to stay home today. 16.1 million last year, so it's up a little bit.
More Chiefs fans.
3.2 million people intend to call in sick, even though they're not. Another 3.2 million people intend to ghost their employers by not informing their bosses that they will be turning up at work today. Hell, that takes a lot of guts there.
The cowboy hat preview thing? Oh, the Jim Mora hat. I remember there was a Jim Mora ad in there, too.
Wait, I'm still trying to figure out who the hell is going to be at work today.
Nobody.
Almost 13 million workers have been preparing for this and have organized pre-approved time off. 4.8 million people have swapped shifts with their co-workers. Another 13 million people intend to show up for work late today. IT guy, he's not working today.
I don't intend to show up late. It just happens. I'm probably a part of that statistic just naturally. Like, it's not my fault. It just naturally happens. Like, we're not showing up to work on time.
You teaching today?
Oh, no. I have the day off. Monday's my off day. Other than the
how
show.
Convenient that is.
Yeah. It actually, I'm really starting to love the Tuesday, Thursday schedule at the college when you get Monday off.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So you're going to be part of this 20 million people that's
kicking up our feet, having a good Monday.
Yeah.
Taking a little let's not say kicking up the feet. Let's restructure that. I will be prepping for my classes today.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, if anyone from CCC is listening.
Oh God.
That's my goal.
You're probably going back to bed.
No, I got good sleep last night.
Going back to bed.
You
can't get to sleep. Super Bowl didn't end until after 10 o'clock or so.
And the minute that clock hit zero,
you went to bed?
Yeah.
You did?
It did. Mm-hmm.
I'd have one more shot.
Dude, I was...
I had one more shot after
Another
watching
beer.
that.
One more beer.
I was drinking something yesterday that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
One of my buddies made it.
Ooh.
Some moonshine.
Oh, geez.
God, that was good.
Dangerous.
I started out of the chute pretty hot yesterday.
Okay.
I was taking shots when Philadelphia was punting.
Okay.
So they punted on their first possession. I said, let's have a shot. Little did I know that the Chiefs were not going to do a lot of scoring. So
there wasn't any touchdown shots?
No, there wasn't any touchdown shots.
So you had shoots for first downs?
Yeah, we had a whole plate full of Jello shots ready to go.
Oh, DeAndre Hopkins got a catch.
Yeah, we can have this late shot. We're gonna
can't let him go to waste.
Well, we're gonna save him for NASCAR this weekend. Daytona 500. We're gonna save him.
Danny Hamlin makes a pass, take a shot.
Yeah, Tim Stroman. He was at our house party that I was at. He says there was not enough punch. Not enough punch to have thoroughly enjoy the new moonshine I've acquired a taste for.
Lou Dogs and Go Cubs Go. I'm sure we'll hear plenty of Cubs fans on the show as we move along through the summer. They're going to come after me.
Baseball's starting.
I can't wait. Pitchers and catches reporting. Let's go.
God, it's already 7:30.
I know.
It's already 7:30. We screwed up the entire clock today.
Damn Chiefs.
Damn Chiefs. Damn Super Bowl.
We could have easily summarized that.
It could have been just as easy as...
Run the damn ball.
Couldn't get it done.
9 yards.
Just give me some damn chicken wings, will you?
I had wings. I had wings last night for the Super Bowl party.
I didn't.
Shout out to Len. Len brought over some wings.
We didn't have wings at our party, which was my top Super Bowl food, but we had a lot of other food.
That's all you wanted was wings.
God, I gained like 7 pounds. I've already been on the scale today. I gained like 7 pounds.
Whew. That sounds like you had a lot of fun then.
Well, I had
Despite the loss.
Oh, you had to.
Great to get everybody together. And
I started the day.
I
started the day by watching Nebraska men's basketball. That was a great one. I'm going to tell you about that here in a few minutes.
Turn on some highlights, yeah.
Huskers picked up a win over Ohio State. I thought, all right, good. That was a good start. Popped me open a beer and had a shot. Sat down, watched the Super Bowl, and things went downhill fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you're a Chiefs fan out there today, before we go to news, if you're a Chiefs fan out there today and you want to put a smile on your face, just YouTube highlights, Nebraska, Ohio State, and you'll feel a little better. I'm not going to say you're feeling a lot better, but it'll slowly help soothe the pain. And then if you're a Chiefs fan out there and you're feeling a little blue, just remember, pitchers and catchers report, and baseball's right around the corner. Let's go.
High school baseball starting soon, too.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Stroman, he's got his team kind of assembled.
He's handing the championship baton to the Royals. Royals time to shine. I could go for that.
The best thing about the Chiefs losing the Super Bowl, I won't have to buy a three-peat Super Bowl attire.
I'm glad you went out of your way to get permission from Pat Riley to use it.
Well, yeah, but I won't have to buy like new sweatshirts and new swag.
Nope.
Won't be spending hundreds of dollars on that today like I have the past couple of Super Bowls. That's a one bright spot.
Lamar Hunt champions just don't have the same ring as Vince Lombardi champions, do they? It was a great joke, by the way. I want to deliver this one before we go. We were sitting with a Vikings fan yesterday at the Super Bowl party, and we were just making jokes about each other's favorite teams. So like we had Raiders fans, Vikings fans, Bills fans. I mean, among the entire fan base, I don't think there's like one Super Bowl championship between us.
No, all losers. all the losers sat together and watched the Super Bowl.
The Vikings fan, without missing a beat, was like, "We'll never win the Vince Lombardi Trophy because." Or he goes, "We'll never win a Super Bowl trophy because we don't want to hoist Vince Lombardi." And I'm like, that's good. That's clever. It delivered yesterday, and he delivered it more in a way that I can't. But it was perfectly timed. And he's like, "It's got Vince Lombardi on its name. Like, we're never going to go after that."
In our Super Bowl house, our party, naturally it was like 98% Chiefs fans. Mm-hmm. We had one guy that was cheering for the Eagles.
Just to be that guy?
Just be that guy in the group. You always got to have one of those smart asses in the group.
Yep. Usually me.
Yeah, 98% Chiefs fans, and you got one smart ass over in the corner that hopped on the Eagles bandwagon.
Yep.
And then we had one guy that was in his Chicago Bears outfit.
Because that fits.
Yeah, that's... And then
he should have been over at my Super Bowl party with all the rest of the losers. The island of misfit teams. The island of misfit teams.
And that's what you got to feel good about if you're a Chiefs fan. We've been there before. There's a lot of teams that haven't been there. Mm-hmm. Haven't been there. Like your losing Super Bowl party. God, that would have been miserable to sit
At least
through.
We had chicken wings.
Just give me some damn chicken wings, will you? He had chicken wings, but he had a bunch of losers.
Post Super Bowl show.
At least I had winners. I had winners at my party, but no chicken wings.
Can't imagine how long this show would have gone if we would have won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. God,
we got to remember this next year. Let's do a 2-hour special after the Super Bowl.
We're gonna have to at 7:34. We haven't even talked about anything else yet.
Oh shoot!
God, we better roll on here. 7:34. You're waking up with Mike and Tyson this morning on Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Local news this hour brought to you by the Hastings Federal Credit Union, where they've been a part of the Hastings community since 1946, and community at the heart of everything they do. With a convenient 24-hour ATM and a friendly staff that knows each member by name, why would you go anywhere else? That's Hastings Federal Credit Union, 707 North Marion Road, or online hastingsfcu.org. Hastings Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender. We'll start off in Seward today, where the Nebraska State Patrol is now able to release additional information regarding an ongoing investigation of a homicide that occurred overnight on Saturday. Officers arrived on scene and located an adult male exiting the residence, identified as 54-year-old Casey Kint. He was suffering from what is believed to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound inside the residence. Officers located a deceased female with multiple gunshot wounds. That victim, identified as 36-year-old Jamie Hagan. Kent was transported to the Seward Memorial Hospital with life-threatening injuries and has been since transferred to UNMC in Omaha for additional treatment while troopers are maintaining his custody. Officers also located a juvenile inside the home. The juvenile made the initial call to 911. and was unharmed. Meanwhile, in St. Paul, officers were dispatched to Highway 281 and Adams Street for a single vehicle rollover Saturday morning, where a preliminary investigation indicates that a vehicle was traveling southbound on 281, crossed the center line, overcorrected, entered a ditch, rolled multiple times, and struck a billboard. The driver, whose identity has not been released pending notification of family, was the sole occupant of the vehicle and was transported to the Howard County Medical Center, where he was then pronounced deceased. Speed is believed to be a contributing factor in the accident, which is still under investigation. And we'll finish at the state capitol, where debate began last week on transgender issues. Governor Jim Pillen appeared before the Nebraska Legislature's Government, Military, and Veterans Affairs Committee to support the Stand With Women Act. The governor's testimony came just 2 days after his trip to the White House, where President Donald Trump signed the executive order, No Men in Women's Sports. 7:36. We'll head over to the East Side Studios and get a check on what's going on in sports. Mike Will, good morning.
Well, the Nebraska men's basketball team won their fourth straight game yesterday with a 79-71 win over Ohio State at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Bryce Williams had 24 points this season, high 10 rebounds for the Huskers. Nebraska overcame an 8-point second-half deficit by outscoring the Buckeyes 45-32 in the final 20 minutes. Nebraska is now 16-8 on the season, 6-7 in the conference. They'll play host to Maryland on Thursday. Tip-off will be at 7:30 on BTN. The Nebraska women's basketball team will play Iowa tonight at PBA. Huskers are 16-7 in the season, 7-5 in the conference. The Hawkeyes are 16-7. They are 6-6 in the league. Tip-off will be at 7 on BTN. The Nebraska softball team went 3-2 in the season-opening NCAA Leadoff Classic in Clearwater, Florida. The Huskers beat Tennessee, Southern Miss, and Bethune-Cookman, but lost to Texas Tech and Mississippi State. Nebraska will play in the Troy Cox Classic in Las Cruces, New Mexico this weekend. Hastings College women's basketball team beat Morningside 80-58 on Saturday in Sioux City. That's the fifth straight win for the Broncos. McKenna Yates led the way with 21 points. Ann Bowes had 14. Hastings is now 18-6 on the season, 13-5 in the conference. They'll play host to Concordia on Wednesday. Hastings College men's basketball team lost to Morningside 69-58. Teron Hall led the Broncos with 13. Maverick Binder had 12. Ben Boudreaux had 10. Hastings is now 3-20 on the season. They're 2-14 in the conference. They'll also play host to Concordia on Wednesday. Hastings College baseball team went 1-2 down in Salina, Kansas over the weekend. The Broncos beat St. Ambrose but lost to Clark and Kansas Wesleyan. Hastings is now 1-7 on the season. They'll play at Tabor College on Tuesday. The Nebraska Kearney basketball teams were in action over the weekend. The Loper men beat Northeastern State 98-96 in overtime on Saturday. UNK is now 8-13. They are 6-7 in the MIAA. The women beat Northeastern State 79-50. The Lopers are now 17-5. They're 10-3 in the conference. Both teams will play at Newman University on Wednesday. Had some high school basketball as well on Saturday. The St. Cecilia girls beat Lincoln Lutheran 56-30. The Hawkettes are now 12-8. The St. Cecilia boys lost to Lincoln Lutheran by 50, 77-27. The Hawks are now 1-19. The Donovan Trumbull boys won their third straight Lou Platte Conference Championship with a 57-56 win over Wood River. Central City won the girls' championship by beating Ord 54-26. And that's a check in your sports headlines. It's 7:40 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
On this Monday, we're back to work and school, and we've got much chillier weather to look forward to for the rest of the week. Hey everybody, Tim Jones, Nebraska Weather TV. Today, a high of 35. We'll have a chance of afternoon to evening flurries. Chance of light snow overnight tonight with an overnight low of 7 degrees. Then on Tuesday to Wednesday, we'll look at chance for accumulating snowfall, especially Tuesday night into Wednesday. Tuesday, a high of 16 degrees. 5's overnight low Tuesday, and then Wednesday, we could get a couple inches of snow.
We got east winds this morning at 6 miles per hour. It's partly cloudy, 16 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, Funeral Director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the Advanced Funeral Planning Specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Extreme Sports has been bringing you the exclusive home of Hastings College Athletics, and we're just getting started. Thanks to our incredible sponsors and your support, Extreme Sports 2 has been a huge success, and now we're excited to announce the launch of Extreme Sports 3. With Extreme Sports 3, you'll get even more local sports coverage. Plus, 24/7 access to Sports by Line, where you'll hear the best in national sports talk. Whether it's Hastings College, high school action, or the latest from around the sports world, we've got it covered across all 3 streams. And don't forget, when we're not broadcasting games, join us weekday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for Huddle Up with Mike Will and Tyson Havronik. It's the perfect way to start your day with sports, news, weather, and great local interviews. So tune in, check out all 3 streams, and stay with us for even more sports coverage coming soon. Thank you to our sponsors for making it all possible, and to you, our listeners, for keeping Extreme Sports strong.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson Havronik. It's a Monday morning, the 10th day of February for 2025. We'll get you up, get you started here today. Thanks for joining us, whether you're listening to us on our website, x-streamsports.com, maybe on your smartphone with our free mobile apps, smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch. We're everywhere that you are. So thanks for joining us. If you'd like to leave us a message, lots of folks chiming in on the Super Bowl. Leave us a message on the social media sites. We're monitoring those comments. If you'd like to give us a call, always like to talk to you folks too. 402-834-1330 is our number. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number.
Lobby is full of comments today about the Super Bowl, and Lou Dog taking a little pressure off me, taking a little bit of the blame and shifting it to his son Liam, who lost his Good Luck Chiefs stocking cap yesterday.
Damn it, Liam.
So maybe I'm not the only one to blame. However, I will take most of it, as I did Friday during the Blazing Five. Kind kind of shocked the world with my Super Bowl prediction, and I took Kansas City, and everyone said, "Oh, you just cursed us," and
you did.
Maybe so. And if I'm the person that threw the wrench in the Chiefs' three-peat plans, I will gladly take that blame.
Of course you will.
I'll take it. It's fine.
That's because you hung out with a bunch of losers yesterday.
Wearing my Josh Allen jersey. MVP.
Let's see. Brian, you talked about Bill Belichick earlier.
Yeah.
Looks like he's keeping his sons employed. He's going to hire Brian Belichick as the safeties coach.
Yep.
He was let go
Shocker.
by, he just was let go by Miami. He's been the Miami, not Miami, New England safeties coach for the past 5 seasons. He was given the axe in January. He spent the past 9 years in the Patriots staff, first as a personal assistant, then as a coaching assistant, being elevated to the safeties coach in 2020. He's going to reunite now with his brother, Steve, who was hired as the Tar Heels defensive coordinator after spending 12 seasons as the defensive assistant with the Patriots and 1 season as the defensive coordinator with the Washington Huskies. So now you've got Steve Belichick, you've got Brian Belichick, and then you got the main man, Bill Belichick, now the coaching staff at North Carolina.
North Carolina is throwing all their eggs in the Belichick basket.
Well, yeah. And when Bill finally decides to call it quits or runs off and gets married to his new little honey, and then
handed over.
Yeah, the reins get handed over to the Belichicks. So they got that pretty well set up. Let's sneak into basketball here for a second. The Huskers picking up a big win yesterday. That was a huge win.
Yep.
Nebraska, they had them in as the number 10 possible seed in the big dance. That was before the game yesterday. Ohio State was also listed as a projected number 10 pick, and the Huskers picked up a win yesterday at home, winning by a score of 79-71. Husker head coach Fred Hoiberg says he's proud of his team.
This is a tough game to play, this first one back from the West Coast, especially when it's an early one. And, I thought the loose balls were going in Ohio State's favor in that first half. And the biggest thing we talked about at halftime was the rebounding and taking care of the basketball. And I think we gave up 3 offensive rebounds and had 2 turnovers in the second half. And similar to what happened at Washington, our only turnover was when we let the shot clock run out on the last possession. So, I'd like to see it more consistent for 40 minutes. I thought, and listen, they're physical. They wore through screens. They deny the elbows. It's what they do. So for us to flip and take care of the basketball like we did in the second half, and then our guys, I thought, made a couple of really good plays. Connor gets the second chance point, the offensive rebound off 2 feet, and then Andrew Morgan may have made the play of the game, diving on the floor and then getting the layup on the back end of it. And, I thought our edge defensively, I know I talk about that, and I use that word a lot, but our edge in the second half was where we needed it, and we did a good job of coming away with a lot of those 50-50 balls. And, I'm just proud of the guys for continuing to go out there and fight and battle. We're not doing it the same way every night. We got off to a hot start. Thought that last 10 minutes we were stagnant. Some of that had to do with Jawan's foul trouble. And he's so important to this team and what we do on both ends of the floor. And when he went out with that second, and then Raleigh picked up his second, I just thought we got a little bit stagnant out there. But, you look at Bryce's, obviously what he's doing offensively, but his 10 rebounds, that's what makes me happy, and that's what gets me excited. As far as Burke, he's twisted it pretty good. So, we don't know exactly what it is yet. We'll reevaluate him in the morning. But, the early, diagnosis, it's a pretty good sprain.
Burke went out late in the ball game yesterday with an ankle injury, and the coach says the injury was a huge one.
He's been great defensively for us, phenomenal. And you look from an analytics standpoint, he's as important as anybody defensively. But, a matter of time before he started hitting some shots, and I'm sick that, he may be out here for a little bit because of the way that he shot the basketball, 3 of 6, 15 points, continuing to rebound, battle in the post. So, we're playing the biggest front line. Not great timing for us, biggest front line in the league with Queen and with Reese. In this next one, we may have to be ready to go a little big, with Andrew and with Braxton out there. These guys obviously are as talented as anybody, and they're playing great basketball right now. But, today was a huge win for us, this Ohio State team. I know we talked about it. They're hot. They won 4 or 5. Their only loss being at Illinois, where I think they're up 13 in the second half, and that includes a win at Purdue. So this is a huge win for our team, for our program, and we can't be satisfied. We got to keep building. We got to keep pushing, and got a big one coming up on Thursday.
And the coach says his team is executing down the stretch, and he credits Bryce Williams for stepping up.
Early on, we had some games that were really tight that we ended up pulling away from. I know they weren't 1 or 2 possession games, but, I give our guys credit for their execution to pull away, at the end of some close games early in the season. And, Indiana was a close game down the stretch, but we pulled away and ended up winning, I think, 14. Oregon State was a tight one, and, we executed well down the stretch. But, yeah, obviously we found a guy that's got it going right now. And, Bryce isn't being a pig out there. He's not going out and shooting the ball every time. He's making the right play. He's getting in the pocket. He's making the shake pass. He hit Sam on an exit where he curled it and got fouled, and we scored there. He's just making the right play. And, he's playing, arguably as well as anybody. Well, hell, he got the award for the best player in the country last week. So, but he's doing it without being selfish. And he's just making winning plays.
So, again, the Huskers sitting at 16-8 on the season, now 6-7 in the conference. Another big game coming up on Thursday. Thursday tip-off will be at 7:30 on PTN.
Yeah, Nebraska right now, like we said, found a little mojo. And I think a lot of that was the West Coast trip, picking up the big win on the road against Oregon, turning around and being able to duplicate that against the Washington Huskies, and that was a critical stretch. Going out and playing a couple different time zones away and having to gel on the road, where that's been the big bugaboo this season, has been away from Pinnacle Bank Arena, and they were able to do that, kind of come together, gel a little bit, and this looks like a cohesive unit. It's a 180 from our 6-game losing streak, but at the same time, with that still kind of fresh in the mind, we have to continue to elevate our game, continue to get better. We can't rest on and be satisfied for being in the conversation, because we still have to take care of business to get it done. And you got a handful of games down here in the stretch before conference tournament time, and you got to continue to take care of business. The being a 10 seed or being on Joe Lunardi's list of bubble teams and moving out of the bubble and kind of into a category where he's going to place them into the tournament is only as long as you continue to take care of business and do the things you need to do. So Nebraska needs to continue to elevate that game, and Bryce certainly has, and the rest of the gang around him, and we'll see here if the Huskers can finish on a high note. This is kind of where we have traditionally lopped off a little bit in basketball seasons past, where you get to this stage and then a bad run down the stretch, and that was fun, we had a little bit of hope, and it just sort of simmers out. So can we continue to not only take care of business on the schedule side of things, but finish basketball games, and we've been able to do that as of late. We finished against Ohio State.
Yeah, look at the big turnaround. Just 2 weeks ago, we were basically writing the team off that we're not gonna make the Big Ten tournament, and certainly the big dance was the furthest things from our mind. Now look at us.
Yeah,
I think we're firmly in the Big Ten tournament right now, at least as of now, and they're talking the big dance again. So yeah, it's the biggest turnaround ever, I think, in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, we were all gloom and doom. I can remember a couple of our shows.
Yeah.
Gloom and doom.
I got to credit, I think the finding a way to win in overtime was big. When we beat Illinois in overtime, we realized we could do it. We could finish games. We could go down the stretch and go punch for punch and blow for blow with these big dogs in the Big Ten, and then the Western road trip. Those were 2 huge wins out west. And then we had to be able to continue to carry that momentum, and we were able to do that on Sunday. So all signs pointing up for Nebraska basketball, but they could just as easily, like we had 4 weeks ago on the show, they could just as easily go back in the other direction.
Yeah, I've been covering sports a long time. I'm just amazed on how teams can flip the switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no magic way. You don't go into the locker room and flip the switch and say, we're going to play good this second half. But I'm just surprised and amazed how teams can totally turn things around in a matter of a week.
Well, it starts with, and I'm going to coach speak for a little bit, but you just got to take it one game at a time. And I know that sounds like coach speak, but you take it one game at a time and you pick up that win. You don't fixate on the large picture. You don't fixate on, well, guys, right now we're not even in the conference tournament and March be damned. We're not even playing for the. You can't take a look at the rest of the schedule as this gigantic mountain that you have to overcome. You got to start with, hey, let's put our hand on this rock and put our foot up. And let's lift ourselves and start. And then we're going to go off and take care of the next goal. And then the next goal. And you take it game by game. And I think Hoiberg really simplified that. I think he dumbed it down. I think he scrapped the formula and just says, let's go get one. And if we can get one, we can get two. And so on and so forth. And that's what we're seeing. And I think they really took that approach to get out of the 6-game snide. And have now created a little breathing room and a little separation, and the sky's the limit for Nebraska.
Actually, it looked pretty good yesterday.
Yeah, it looked real good.
Like I said, I watched it before the Super Bowl yesterday. Actually, it looked pretty good. So, anyway, Huskers will take on Maryland this week. Burke looks like he is going to be out for a while. I hope it's nothing more than a severely sprained ankle. He was injured late in the ball game yesterday against Ohio State. Did not look good on TV. He was in a lot of pain as he came to the sideline. I just hope it's nothing more than a severely sprained ankle. Like he's going to be lost for the year because we need some size, and he's our main man, Burke, inside for the Huskers. So, we hope it's at least some good news today coming out of the Husker training room. So.
Absolutely, yeah. Defensively, he takes a lot of points off the board.
Anytime you got a guy that is, I don't know how big he is officially, but he's big.
He big boy.
We got Maryland this weekend, who's got a bunch of big guys on their team. So
yeah, they rebound really well. Right now, the pitcher, Omaha is competing well in the Summit League. UNO, Creighton looks to be good. Nebraska's turning into a basketball state. We could have 3 teams of the 68 March Madness field. We could have 3 from Nebraska. If it were to end right now.
Wow.
Mavericks topping the Summit League. They've turned things around. They were featured, by the way, the Mavericks on the Scott Van Pelt show on ESPN.
Really?
For some of their post-locker room celebrations. Apparently a tradition of absolutely destroying a trash can was started after a loss. And now after a win, I mean, they're all taking turns, whether it's baseball bats or wrestling moves. They demolish a trash can after every win. And apparently players look forward to that so much that they can propel themselves to victory. Found that was a very interesting feature. So Mavs, Jays, Huskers, Nebraska, a basketball state?
God, athletes are strange sometimes, aren't they?
We are weird creatures.
You go into the locker room after you win and you destroy a trash can.
Hell, we had, and when I was coaching Broken Bow baseball, somebody had stuck a banana in the fence. And we had won a game when we hadn't for a long time. And then after that, I mean, it was just this glorious run of fresh fruit in the dugout that was being put into the fence because that was our good luck charm.
Really?
I mean, and everyone brought fruit. I ain't kidding you. It started with a banana, and
did the fans do it or the team?
No, the team.
Really?
The team did it. Yeah.
So you just had all kinds of stuff stuck in the fence.
It's an amazing story. We ended up running, and we went all the way to area tournament and played in the finals. Yeah.
Wow.
All over a banana.
Just because
athletes are weird sometimes.
Yeah, just because a banana gets stuck in the fence.
That's right.
All right. Well, we made it through the day after.
2 topics.
Yeah,
touched on the Chiefs, touched on the Huskers.
Yeah, there's so much more to talk about too.
Oh,
we're going to have a high school basketball. We want to put congratulations to the Donovan Trumbull boys basketball team. They won their 3rd straight Lou Platte Conference championship the other night, beating Wood River. The Eagles, pretty good team themselves, 57-56. was the final score there as Kalen Burr and his troops continue to win. Donovan Trumbull got their sights set on the postseason.
DT got a three-peat?
Yeah, we'll see.
DT got a three-peat.
No, they haven't won.
Well, three-peat in terms of Lou Platt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Casey doesn't have a three-peat. Sorry.
God. You had to sneak that in here at the end of the show, didn't you?
One last jab.
You were being pretty good today.
I was
considering the circumstances. And then you had to throw that three-peat crap in right here at the end of the show.
Just right at the end. Just one little dagger.
Wait to jab the old...
Just to remind you that I'm me, man.
Stick the knife in my back. Slowly turn it.
Slowly
turn it so I'm in pain all damn day over... What was the final score yesterday?
A lot to a little.
Yeah, we had some little kids running around. What's the score? I said a lot to a little.
Yep. Bad guys.
40-22.
40-22, and it probably could have been 40-13 had you not had the garbage time TD. And
well, we had two of them right there at the end.
Yeah, it was ugly.
At least it looks kind of good.
But
40-22.
It makes the Bills look even worse. So
yeah.
I mean, as bad as the Chiefs played, it's like Kansas City handed Buffalo a loss.
Look on the bright side, though.
Baseball season's right around the corner.
So is NASCAR. No, NASCAR starts this week.
You start first. Yes, you get to lead things off.
I got NASCAR this week.
Daytona 500. You got any friends going?
Yeah, I got some friends down there.
Should have them call into the show this week.
I could.
From the paddock.
I didn't know. I had some people actually that I knew that were at the Super Bowl. If I would have known that, we would have had him on the phone.
Oh, I saw Theo Harris was.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. If I would have known Pete was going down there, hell, we would have had him on all week.
Yep. Reporting live from Bourbon Street.
Even though he's a Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Yeah, he didn't have a good time at the Super Bowl.
He probably didn't. I saw some pictures. Him and his wife went down there. They said it was ups and downs. They had a good time, but watched the awful Super Bowl.
Bad game.
Yeah, well, I didn't know he was going to go down there. We would have got him on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see if I can dial up some people down at Daytona 500 this week.
The Hacklers?
That's who I'm talking about. Hacklers are down there.
It's funny. We know the same people.
I know we do. I don't know. So anyway, the NASCAR gurus, if you're excited. I got Stroman involved with our NASCAR fantasy league.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about racing, but he just likes playing fantasy sports.
I'll jump on Tim's team if he needs help. We can team up. We'll call our team baseball team.
Yeah.
The baseball team.
Just the bats.
The bats.
The bats.
I like that.
All right. Well, we made it through the day. I got to go see my tax man here in about an hour. So.
Oh, God. I'm holding off.
I got to get out the door.
I've collected all my things. I have all my paperwork, and I will hold off until deadline day.
Well, what happens if you get money back?
I haven't got money back in like 4 years, man.
I know, but what happens if this is the year? Get money back.
Well, then I'm going to have a fun spring.
Oh, that's right. Jim Slacker, he just chimed in.
Horse is nearing the starting. Is that opening weekend this weekend? Next weekend. It's next weekend, right?
But they don't race Friday.
Okay, no Friday racing.
I don't think I have a game Friday, so I was looking forward to going to the Ponies on Friday, and I looked up yesterday. They don't run this Friday.
Opening on Saturday then?
Yeah, opening on Saturday.
Okay.
So, but we're going to have Jim on the show on Friday.
Yeah.
That's set up. That's in stone now.
In stone.
Yeah,
nice.
we're gonna be talking to Jim on Friday.
All
about
things ponies.
All things ponies. A little horse talk. I don't know what we're gonna name the show yet, but it's something like horse talk or something like that. We're gonna have Jim on every Friday.
We'll think of a clever name.
Yeah, we'll figure out something.
Mm-hmm.
That's my horse. That's my horse. All right. Well, have yourself a great day. We'll do this again tomorrow morning at 7 for Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning.